something, and there may be some technical defenses that he's going to raise. I mean, you have to investigate these things and give people their day in court, and hopefully we have a fair process.
Well, would you give us some examples of, I imagine you never heard of Judge Noel Canning.
Exactly, I do.
She was the one that threatened to shoot
I'll tell you about
the testicles off the
J.A.I.L.
police officer.
She's going to give him a 38th vasectomy.
Yeah, 38th vasectomy.
That is one of the most amazing cases that, in fact, not so much that it happened, but that there's an opinion about it, and they show you what happened. And what's amazing is how long that went on. In fact,
she got promoted. She got a job as a lobbyist.
Did she? Well, that's
In
usually what
Sacramento.
happens. I can tell you a couple horror stories of myself like that. Where
how is that a punishment of Judge Noel Canning? How she gets a job as a lobbyist and makes as much or more?
Well, it works. That's the way it works. That's the way power works. One of the reasons that I got into this is, as I left insurance defense, I got into plaintiff's legal malpractice, suing attorneys that wronged their own clients. And I had a case where I took on the power, the hand of power. And what I learned is a whole course in power. When you challenge the hand of power, you can have the most righteous case there is, where you've been wronged, and you bring it to these people. And for the most part, the hand of power is not going to reach out and shake your hand and say, thank you for enlightening me, showing me I was wrong. In fact, the hand of power recoils into a fist and is going to slap you upside the head. And that's what happened to me. I ran into a judge, I checked his profile before trial, and unfortunately I was working at a firm that didn't have an updated library, and I got a profile that didn't look too bad, but it was outdated. In fact, the guy was one of the 10 worst judges in the state, and believe me, I found out. He made me sit down in my opening statement, said I couldn't talk about the law in a legal malpractice case. He then wrongly stopped the trial midway in the presentation of our case, wouldn't even let us complete the case, and that was illegal. And he said no attorney would bring this case. Jurors go into the jury room, and I want you to come back and find for the defendant. And they did it. And I thought that some of these jurors would say when they went in there, wait a minute, I remember from my junior high or high school class that something about a right to a trial. And that they would have said, no, we're not going to do that. But what happens is we as citizens don't do our duty. We don't realize. See, the way it starts out is we the people, we're supposed to be sovereign. We are the tree trunk in the roots. Government is supposed to be under us, work for us, be our servants. But real quickly, we the people get subverted to be the government. We the people out of that tree trunk loan the power to government through 3 branches. And what's happens is they start to perpetuate and expand their power, and a lot of times as they do that, they do it abusively. And as they get more power, we get less liberty. We end up having 3 separate and independent branches that are supposed to balance each other, but they end up separate and independent from the people, and they protect each other.
Exactly.
And so that's what I found out.
Can you give us
and let me go on for just a second. And we as citizens have to be vigilant of our liberty. And 3 of the vehicles that we had at one time were voting, sitting on a petite jury, trial jury, and a grand jury. But largely those vehicles have been manipulated away from us, and through government protecting itself time and time again. And that's why this J.A.I.L is so important, because if judges have immunity, they're not going to be accountable. And if judges aren't accountable, attorneys aren't going to be accountable. They'll be hired guns. And that's where we're at today. And you see time and time again where citizens try to take on government in these lawsuits. And number one, when you take on, say, the executive branch, well, you're going into another branch of government. And they have all our money, we have to pay the taxes, and they have unlimited budgets. And these judges are supposed to be the backstop, the final arbitrator, the gatekeeper. And you find out, though, that they have this immunity, and who's judging the judges, or who's watching the judges, and you find that there's nothing there really, except for lip service.